let's go to a story we've been tracking now for weeks. New information tonight about the East Tennessee Lions Eye Bank. It's a life-changing nonprofit dedicated to improving sight through donations of corneas. In a series of reports, we uncovered questions about the salary and incentives for the longtime head of that charity. In 2019, total compensation for Valerie Stewart was almost $445,000. Her daughter serves as office manager and made close to $137,000 a year in that role. 10 News investigative reporter Grace King joins us now with a new twist in this story. Grace.
John, new emails forwarded to our investigative team show Stewart and her daughter weren't happy we attended their quarterly meeting. The email sent from Stewart to board members that night says they all need to protect the eye bank and that she has done nothing wrong. She says any board member that told a source where the meeting was held needs to repent and get off the board. She went on to say if she finds out who was giving former board member Brandon Johnson his information, she prays the Lord deals harshly with them. She also says the board needs to pray and take the necessary action to keep the Lions Eye Bank. She asked them to take a letter from the National Eye Bank Association seriously and get busy helping her fight what she called an evil force around them. We reached out to Stewart about those emails. In part, she says they weren't trying to hide anything and that the meeting place was for their safety. She said they need to focus on the eye bank and do their job and that they're moving forward. She also had a lot to say about us and our reporting. That full statement is online.
And Grace, now former board member, originally tipped us off to this story, questioning that total pay package for the head of the charity, Valerie Stewart. You also found her pay was much higher than people serving in similar roles in cities like New York, Atlanta, even Memphis. You also looked at some comparisons here in East Tennessee for people serving in the role of head of a charity.
John, every year the Alliance for Better Nonprofits here in East Tennessee asks East Tennessee organizations how much they pay their staff. Nearly 200 nonprofits participated in the 2021 study, but not the East Tennessee Lions Eye Bank. If it had, it would have been around the top of every list. Tiffany Mensch knows all about paying nonprofit executives.
It's important that people understand that nonprofits are businesses.
She runs the Alliance for Better Nonprofits, which supports more than 400 organizations across East Tennessee. It also produces an annual compensation survey.
We looked at benefits, executive director and CEO salaries. We looked at other frontline staff and support staff salaries so that nonprofits have this baseline.
Nonprofit leaders with the president or CEO title made an average of $129,000 in 2021. Local executive directors made about $100,000.
We have staff that are paid and they should be compensated fairly.
In 2019, IRS documents show Valerie Stewart made roughly $445,000 as the East Tennessee Lions Eye Bank executive director. Stewart's daughter, Laura Gillerin, made about $137,000 for her job as office manager. That means the two of them received roughly $1 in every $4 the nonprofit made that year.
It's really important just to do your research on what that sort of fair compensation looks like.
The eye bank made roughly $2 million during that 2019-2020 tax year. Most of that is from program fees and not monetary donations. A number of organizations across East Tennessee bring in significantly more each year, but pay their top executives less. That's all documented on their IRS forms from the 2019 fiscal year. Here's a sampling of what we're talking about. United Way of Greater Knoxville brought in $13.3 million that year. It's paid its presidents, Ben Landers and Matt Ryerson, a combined $225,000. Second Harvest reported a total revenue of $37.2 million. It paid its executive director, Elaine Strano, about $161,000. And finally, CARM made about $22.9 million that year. President and CEO Bert Rosen was paid about $226,000. None of those came close to the $445,000 Valerie Stewart was paid in total compensation that same year. John.
Grace King with more perspective on this story. And if you'd like to read our full investigation into the East Tennessee Lions Eye Bank and learn about how we came about this story and what we uncovered, you can find it right now at WBIR.com.